Welcome back to RPG Archive. We're doing another Ask Google, whatever Google wants to know about Dragon Quest. Is Dragon Quest, and this is like the whole series, not specifically one game, so it's not Dragon Quest 1, it's also not Dragon Quest 11, and it's not any specifically the Dragon Quest in between, it's just broad Dragon Quest. Now I've done archives on most of the Dragon Quest games except for 8, and then the spin-offs, no. But all the other ones, so check those out if you want something really in-depth for each one. But these are the questions that Google is asking specifically for Dragon Quest. And when I type in, is Dragon Quest. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe. It helps me do more of these, yada, 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 I guess. So let's get started. Is Dragon Quest 3 Remake worth it? Tough question. Yeah, probably not. Ooh, voice crack. Probably not for most people. Dragon Quest 3 was originally on the NES and it's been remade several times, even in America. You can get it on the Switch, like an Android version that isn't terrible, but it's probably not the best. But it is playable and certainly fine. You can get it on the Game Boy, so emulate it. Is the remake worth it? It's $60. That to me, that's very steep for an NES remake. And it plays like an NES game for the most part. They have added a couple things that make it really cool. They've added a new class, which is really nice. But at its core, it is an NES game that's remade and looked prettier. I think on sale for between $20 and $40, that's like a sweet spot where it might be worth it. But at $60, if you don't know that you want to play Dragon Quest 3, I would say wait for a sale. And then, yeah, absolutely pick it up. You'll have a great time with it. But it does show its age quite often. So if you're, to me, a $60 game now, if you're comparing it to like what you would get from like a normal AAA game, it doesn't offer the same quality. So yeah, wait for a sale, $20 to $40, perfect. All right, is Dragon Quest 11 good? Again, very subjective question, but yes. I think overall, probably one of the best turn-based JRPGs in the classic style that there's been in a long time. Go check out my archive if you want to know more about it, but it is very good. I think there's a pacing issue to it. But if you like anime, you'll probably appreciate that pacing issue. I don't like anime, so those just really bog the experience for me. But overall, it is a very, very good game. So you would not do poorly by getting Dragon Quest 11. Especially now, I think it's like generally $40, which is insane, and it probably goes on sale quite a bit. So snatch it up, man. It's really good. It's probably about 100 hours. Maybe between 60 and 100 hours of gameplay, of just solid gameplay. You'll really enjoy it. So, is Dragon Quest 11 good? Yes. Is Dragon Quest related to Dragon Ball? I mean, yes and no. If you're talking about story-wise and lore, absolutely not. They're completely different. The thing that connects them is Akira Toriyama. He's the artist. Of course, he passed away recently. But he did the artist work for the original Dragon Quest and carried it on all the way to... I mean, now it's still his company that's doing it. And it's iconic, but no, they're not technically related. Now, obviously, the artwork, people look at, because Dragon Ball is so much more popular, people look at Dragon Quest and say, oh, that looks like a Dragon Ball character. And, they're basically right, because the artist is the same, and he's essentially drawing the same characters, just, the hair is slightly different, or the eye color is different or whatever, but essentially they're all Dragon Ball characters. But no, there's no story relation. There's no, if you like one, you have to like the other because they're tied together. No, there's none of that. It's just that the main Akira Toriyama did the artwork for both, and his style is unwavering, I guess you could say. So there you go. Is Dragon Quest Builders 2 multiplayer? I don't know. I don't play Dragon Quest Builders. I'm not really a Minecraft guy. I think there's multiplayer elements in it. Somebody else could answer that question. I don't really care. I think there's multiplayer elements in it, and that's all I know. Is Dragon Quest 3 a prequel? Spoiler alert. Okay, if you want to know this one, this is yeah, definitely a spoiler alert here of the story of Dragon Quest 3. It's hard to say from a timeline perspective because it gets a little weird, but essentially, yes. Dragon Quest 3 is a prequel to Dragon Quest 1 and 2. Specifically 1, I guess, because then 2 is a sequel to 1. But it's weird because you Dragon Quest 3 for the most part takes place in its own world, and then through a point in the game you'll go to the old elements of 1. So before you start 1, you're doing the story of that. I don't want to talk more about it than that. That's kind of it. So I guess hardline, yes, it's a prequel. And you could play it 3, 1, 2. I kind of recommend playing it 1, 2, 3 though. Still, because 3 will give you that oh shit moment, which is really cool. So very valuable. But yes, 3 is a prequel. Is Dragon Quest Builders 2 cross-platform? Yes. Is Dragon Quest 11 a prequel? So this, if Dragon Quest 3 is a little confusing, which it's not really that confusing, but anyway, Dragon Quest 11 is very confusing. It depends on how you look at Dragon Quest 11. I personally just look at it as a large homage to the series as a whole. So to me, no. It does tie itself to elements of the past game, specifically 3. But I really don't look at it that way. I look at it more of as just, it's nodding to it. It's saying like 3 happened and we love it, and this part leads to 3 maybe. Or they do nods to other games in the series as well. So I would say no, but I'm sure there's nerds on here that'll be like, yes, because yada yada yada. Whatever. I think no, and I think you can go into it safely thinking it is not. What's next? Is Dragon Quest good? Yeah, I think so. I mean, like, this channel was supposed to be a Dragon Quest channel, but then I realized I could never. I wanted to play other games, so I diverted that. But originally it was Dragon Quest only because I love Dragon Quest. Now here's the deal. Dragon Quest is unflinchingly classic in its approach to video games. So they never waver from turn-based. They have spin-offs that do, but the mainline games never waver from turn-based. So far, I'm looking at you, 12, but they've always been turn-based. They've always usually had a limited amount of cutscenes and story. They changed that quite a bit. 8 changed that a little bit. I think 8 was perfect with the amount, and then 11 probably has too much for my taste, but in general the gameplay is the same for all of the games. So if you like that classic JRPG turn-based style, then it's good, and I think it delivers that very, very well, and therefore it is good. If you don't like it, you might not like what it has to offer, but I still think you could understand that it's good. But maybe you're more of an Elden Ring guy, more of a Dark Souls guy. Turn-based isn't your thing. Okay, then Dragon Quest may not be for you, but it is good, I think, without question. Is Dragon Quest the same as Dragon Warrior? Well, I mean, if you're talking about the Dragon Warrior was what Dragon Quest was called in the West up until 8, I think. And so yes, from what you're thinking, Dragon Quest, I believe, was like a Dungeons and Dragons spin-off or some like a tabletop RPG in America, so they couldn't use the name. I could be wrong on that, but I think that's why they couldn't use it. Someone can correct me. I'm not going to look it up here. That's not what this is for. But it's essentially, if you're looking at Dragon Warrior video games, those are Dragon Quest. So yes. And finally, is Dragon Quest 11 turn-based? That's an interesting one because Dragon Quest 11 offered a really confusing battle system that is essentially very simple. It's a turn-based battle system, but they let you move around within like a range while you're fighting. So a lot of people, when they are on the outside and they look at that, which you can turn that off, by the way, you can make it completely traditional, which I always do. But when people look at it from the outside, it looks almost like an action RPG. If you're not looking at people playing it, but it's completely turn-based. It's very weird that they offered that, and I think it's kind of clunky. I would have just not included it at all. So yeah, it is completely turn-based. It's not action at all. It's very, very, very much a traditional JRPG. So if you think it's turn-based, it ain't. Anyway, those are the questions that came up on Google. The top, I guess that's like 10 or something. So maybe I'll try another one at some point. Maybe I'll try Was Dragon Quest and see what comes up there. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. It's fun to do these, and I hope to see you again next time and play some Dragon Quest. Woo!